big night for college hoops.
Wow.
Evidently, you won your family bracket.
Whoa.
Way to go, Ben.
I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying.
You spent a lot of time on that bracket.
Well, you know, this is the go-to guy.
That March Madness is as far as predicting
Is madness.
Is madness. And that even someone as little sports knowledge as me can occasionally win out of 21 brackets.
I don't know. Aren't you on like a record, like the second year in a row or something?
I won a few years ago, but no.
You were fired up and ready to go.
I know, I was. Don't give away my secrets, Larry Strakel.
That's what I was just going to say.
That's right. That's right.
Don't give away.
Anyway, so yeah, maybe you saw some, but for most of us, I think we were all asleep by the time it came on.
Yes, absolutely.
But Kia's got some of the details about how it went down, and we also have some surprising stats about the women's game and how how popular it is. But catch us up.
Yes. So UConn won. For those of y'all who have been following this, UConn won. Super big heartbreaker for Purdue. But again, a game well played nonetheless.
Yep.
So again, last night's win, it makes UConn Huskies the back-to-back national champions. They won last year. Final score was 75-60. Now, sports fans, again, you might already know how this went down, but for folks that might need something to talk about at work today or just want a quick catch-up, this is what we talked about this morning. So, again, a huge heartbreaker for Purdue. This was actually the men's basketball team's first national championship since 1969. Now, if you saw the clips of the audience, I mean, people were bawling, absolutely distraught to see this loss because it really was a historic game for them. But still, look at the whole season, though. Indiana team, they have a lot to be proud of. Purdue actually ended up setting a record for program wins. And then as far as the game itself, the Huskies led by 6 at around halftime. Then they increased that deficit by about 16 within the last 9-10 minutes of the game. Now, the face you want to know, though, we talked about this morning, this man right here. So in the white is Tristen Newton. He led the Huskies, 20 points on the board, 7 assists. And then, of course, a big congrats to all the teams that made it to the dance, especially the players from right here at home. This was a good game. After looking at some of the highlights, I mean, I was more fascinated with the women this season, as I think everyone was. Yeah. But this was a good game nonetheless.
Second half, I mean, first half was like even. Second half was dominated by UConn. UConn is a powerful
came
team.
back and just...
I mean, they dominate. I mean, you know, Purdue, maybe the fans were upset, but you're playing against a monumental team.
And put up a good fight.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The defending champions, and 1985 is where we went to the 64-team bracket, so that's only the third time that there's been a back-to-back championship. I think it was Villanova and Duke are the only other two teams to do it, so that's a big deal.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Ben knew this. That's why I said this. No, I think UConn's going to be the third.
Yeah, right. By the way, speaking of, Kia alluded to it, but women's national championship broke records. According to ESPN, some 18.7 million viewers tuned in for Sunday night's matchup between Iowa and South Carolina. That makes it, get this, the most watched game ever for women's basketball.
Nice.
And more than that, it's now the most watched basketball game overall since 2019. So in 5 years.
Including men.
Yeah. That means it beat out college men's as well as NBA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Viewership.
That's great.
Kudos to Dawn Staley, because a lot of that excitement goes to her, because her.
And I saw an interview with her, and they were interviewing her about what she looks for in players. And I love that she said, we look for if they respect their parents, then they'll respect us. And those are the kind of players I look for. And I thought, wow, what a great soundbite from her.
I saw so many interviews with her over the last 4 or 5 days, and responding to things like that. And there were a few people who asked her some off-topic things, trying to get her to say something controversial. And she just is...
Class act.
Yeah, and unflappable.
Yes.
Unflappable. Like, you know...
I think this has opened up a lot of interest from girls in basketball. And guys, too, really. But, I mean, it's opened up the fact that girls can play great. I'd love to see that team, the USC team, take on some of the men.
Oh, totally.
You know what?
They could.
I bet you they would challenge even UConn.
They could.
Right.
Let's work on that.
John Kelly chiming in saying, it's great seeing women's basketball getting the attention it deserves. So true.
So we were in Columbia. We went to the Riverbank Zoo during the day of the game, and it was like, oh, we'll go out to eat before we go home. We did not do that, because everywhere we went, there was literally people like overflowing the balconies, and all of a sudden I was like, what's... Oh, right. I completely forgot about this. But just seeing how hyped everyone was in Columbia. But I think it's great for the sport, too, because it's so focused on the men's bracket. Now I think a lot more people are going to be doing the women's bracket realizing it's just as entertaining.
Yeah. I'm hoping that kind of carries over.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. But it's Dawn Staley.
It is for me.
Clark, man.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped for
her. That's another thing. She had some really classy things to say about Caitlin Clark as well. Like,
I love that she gave her a shout out for giving bringing so much attention
I saw
to
the figures she's going to get as a pro. As a rookie, it's only like $96,000.
Oh,
it's some that's as a rookie. But all of her endorsements, she is a multi-millionaire already.
Good for her.
That's what I like to see.
Well, and I think that's also good for the WNBA, too, that is starting to get more traction as well.
Yes.
So once you actually have a star like her, I think you're going to have a lot more big names that are going to start to become more of the tier of LeBron James and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is a big evolution, so I'm pretty pumped.
From what I understand, the WNBA moves a little bit differently when it comes to recruits as well, right? Like the women do their all 4 years. Men a lot of times will be drafted as like
1 year. Sometimes you only do 1 year, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So maybe that could change that too.
We had a new WNBA team here in Charlotte. Dawn Staley played on that team.
Are you serious?
We go back in history, for a short amount of time.
I'm not surprised at all.
Bring it back.
This is amazing to me. Oh my goodness.
Well, Larry, you need to do one of your Charlotte history stories that you air on the morning show, and that should be one of them.
That's a good idea.
That'd be great, especially for all the new people that move here. I bet they don't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll write it down for you. You can get it on right here.
But Chris is notepad over there that has everything.
Joy Mott chiming in, saying, "I'm proud of USC."
Yep, they did great.
We all are.
When are we getting Joy Mott and John Kelly on the show?
Yeah, they need to.
Come on down.
We'll get you guys to
and Melissa. I don't know what
Skype
Melissa
in or
is
something
this
like
morning.
that. That's right. All right, folks, weigh in. Let us know what you think. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.